Christmas is also about gifts, and Billy Mills was given a gift to run. He used that gift to overcome an extremely traumatic childhood. He used that gift to achieve a gold medal. And tonight, he's going to share his gift of storytelling and his wisdom with us. But first, we're just going to play a short clip from the 1964 Olympics, just to relive a little of that glory.
Tokyo, 1964.
Some of the athletes from various teams have broken ranks to get a closer look. U.S. girls. Yoshinori Sakai is now passing by the bands and through those traditional Japanese drums. Flags of all the nations. Now we're coming to one of the most impressive moments of the Olympics, as Sakai will turn and salute the crowd before igniting the cauldron which will burn throughout the Olympic Games until the closing ceremonies, and it will be extinguished. There it goes.
The stretch produced an amazing finish by Billy Mills.
And here we go in the final lap for the gold medal in the 10,000 meter. And up front is Bill Mills. He's pressing Ron Clark, the world champion. Bill Mills in the United States, number 722, is leading Ron Clark. And in third place right now is Mahout Gammoudi of Tunis. A tremendous upset if Bill Mills can hang on. But Gammoudi goes out ahead as Gammoudi right now leading in the 10,000 meter. Ron Clark is third. Rather, Bill Mills is in third. Ron Clark is in second right now. This is the final lap for the 10,000 meter. The unheralded Mahout Gammoudi of Tunis is putting on a tremendous sprint. He's out ahead of Ron Clark. Bill Mills, the United States, is in third place. And this will certainly be the fastest 10,000 meter ever run by an American.
Here's Mills, who seems to be boxed in. Suddenly there's an opening, and here he comes.
Here they come down the final lap. Can Ron Clark catch Gammoudi? They're going through the field. He's coming up. He's passing Gammoudi.
Look at
Back and neck.
Look at Mills! Look at Mills!
Coming on. Mills is coming on. It might be Bill Mills. What a tremendous surprise here. Bill Mills of the United States wins the 10,000 meters. Bill Mills of the United States, a tremendous upset, wins the 10,000 meter here. His unheralded runner from Kansas.
Let's go back and look with our other camera to see exactly how he broke through the pack.
Here they come down the final lap. Can Ron Clark catch Gammoudi? They're going through the field. He's coming up. He's passing Gammoudi.
Look at
Back and neck.
Look at Mills! Look at Mills!
Coming on. Mills is coming on. It might be Bill Mills. What a tremendous surprise here. Bill Mills of the United States wins the 10,000 meters.
Billy Mills, the only American ever to win a gold medal in the Olympic 10,000 meter run.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a living legend, Mr. Billy Mills.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I believe they might have to turn the mic down just a bit. I speak very quietly, but when I give a presentation, it can be fairly loud. I think we're finding a level. Can you hear me okay? Great. That moment was very, very magical to me. I truly felt as if I had wings on my feet. I was told the moment was electrifying. I was told the world had just witnessed the greatest upset in Olympic history unfold. However, that's not what I took from sport. What I took from sport you are taking from your experiences. I took, for example, it's the journey, not the destination, that empowers us. It was the near 55,000 miles of training, utilizing critical thinking, intelligence, the thought of how to get the most out of my body legally, ethically, morally. It's the journey, not the destination, that empowers us. And it's the daily decisions we make in life, not just the talent we possess, that choreographs our destiny. Now traveling to 108 different countries throughout the world, I took a true sense of global unity through the dignity, through the character, through the beauty of global diversity. Unity through diversity. To me, not only the theme of the Olympic Games, far, far more important, the future of humankind. But we live in strange times, don't we? Our world is rapidly changing. I ran, in many ways, because running challenged my integrity. Running challenged my spirituality. I remember before the Olympic Games, 13 months before, finding out I was hypoglycemic. I'm type 2 diabetic. Nobody in the medical profession could tell me how to deal with that. I was simply told I had low self-esteem, orphaned, minority, poverty. You have to learn how to deal with those issues. It was a medical issue. And when you're hypoglycemic, at least with me, and you go low blood sugar, there's a very quiet but powerful form or thought of suicide that overcomes you. And if you're dealing with other issues, on 3 occasions, I was on the verge of taking my life. Running saved me. I wrote down a dream to heal a broken soul. And I wrote down that I will utilize running as the catalyst of the dream. I wrote down Olympic gold medal, 10,000 meter run. The Creator has given me the ability. The rest is up to me. The journey, not the destination. The daily decision we make in life, not just the talent we possess. And then running exposed me to global unity through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity. So let me start. As an 8-year-old boy, my mother just died. And as I mourned the loss of my mother, my father hugged me, kissed me on the cheek, and he simply said, "Son, you have broken wings." You know what I mean by broken wings. "Son, you have broken wings, but I'll share something with you. And if you're willing to follow it, someday, you just may have wings of an eagle." After a year of sobriety, you felt like you had wings of an eagle. I know that. I wanted to know what it would be like to not have alcohol cross my lips. The most difficult decision I ever made. I just decided I wanted to know what it was like. I went 21 years without a drop of alcohol. To do that was far more powerful than winning the gold medal at the Olympic Games. My dad simply said, "Son, you have broken wings, but I'll share something with you. And if you follow it, someday you can have wings of an eagle." He took a stick, he drew a circle. "Step inside of the circle, son." I stepped inside. He told me, "Look inside of your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit. What do you find?" I'm 8 years old. "Daddy, I don't know." Boom! He clapped his hands. I'll tell you what you find. Anger. You just lost your mother. Hate, because people have expressed hatred toward you. Jealousy, because we don't have anything of material value. And you have a whole lot of self-pity, son. All of those emotions will destroy you. Look deeper, way down deep, are where the dreams lie, son. Find your dream. It's the pursuit of a dream that heals broken souls. My father challenged me to pursue the dream. One or two of your dreams, son, will lead you down a path and identify a beautiful, positive passion. Develop the skills to equal the passion. Because what happens, son, if you bring a positive, constructive passion together with equal skills you developed? Again, I'm 8 years old. I don't know, Daddy. Boom! He clapped his hands. I'll tell you what you find. Magic! You have a passion in life. You develop the skills. You bring them together. Boom! You can create magic. I want you to create magic, son. And one or two of the magical things you do in your lifetime just may be looked upon as a miracle. That's the teachings he gave me. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years of age, I believed in magic. I believed that I could create a miracle. But then my dad died. I was not ready for the racism that I would face in life. I was vulnerable. But because I read, I still try to read a book a week. Some weeks I do, some weeks I don't. But I read. Running was sacred. Challenged my integrity. I was a good student. I had 16 full athletic scholarships offered to me. I chose the University of Kansas. First time I made All-American. I'll never forget. But I no longer feel the pain. The top 5 made All-American. I was among the top 5. You know what we do today in college? We remove the international students out and move the Americans up. That particular year, I was the only American making All-American. Then I heard the words, you, yeah, you, the darker-skinned one. We want you out of the photo. Why? I broke. I stepped out of the photo. And then the Canadian simply said, that's Billy Mills. The rest of us are foreign students going to the U.S. schools. I'm not going to have my photo taken unless Billy can have his photo taken. Billy, come stand by me. I stood by my Canadian colleague. They snapped the photo. That was the first experience I remember of unity through diversity. Global unity through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity. The next year, the same thing happened. The third year, Mills, right? 3 times All-American. Do me a favor. I want to take 2 photos. I'll take the first photo without you. I will include you in the second photo. A little bit more will be broke. I know what it is to be broken. But I stayed in. I didn't step out of the photo. They snapped the photo. I've never seen one without me in that particular year of making All-American. But I go back to my hotel room. I broke. I remember opening the window. I'm standing on a chair. This hand is on the glass window. This hand is on the wood frame. I looked out. It took years to share this because I thought it was cowardly. I thought it was weakness. I was going to jump. But let me tell you why I did not jump. I didn't hear through my ears. Underneath my skin, energy, movement, that sounded like an unspoken word. Don't. 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 Then, like an echo, don't. It sounded like my dad's voice. I got off the chair. I wanted to heal a broken soul. I wrote down gold medal, Olympic 10,000 meter run. The Creator has given me the ability. The rest is up to me. Believe, 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 believe. I chose to heal a broken soul. Running became the catalyst. Made the Olympic team in 2 events. Go back to the University of Kansas. A beautiful co-ed walked by me. I don't know if it would be called stalking, but I followed her. This coming January, we celebrate 58 years of marriage. She was the first white person I ever trusted. I married her. First person that believed in me. We set out together to win an Olympic gold medal. Okay. Made the team in 2 events. Graduated from college. Became an officer in the Marine Corps. We're at the Olympic Games. She's about 95 meters from the finish, 32 seats up. I'm down 95 yards at the start of the 10,000 meter run. The gun went off. Lap after lap, runners fall behind. We crossed the 3 mile on a cinder-muddy track in 13 minutes and 28 seconds. Mud gathered on our spikes. We all grew a half an inch. 2 problems. I was in 4th place. That's the small problem. The big problem, I'm within 1 second of my fastest 3 mile ever. But the race is not 3 miles. It's 6.2 miles. There's no way I could continue. I'm going to quit. When you quit a distance race, you look into the infield, you want to quit where nobody recognizes you. I looked into the infield, all of the officials were local Japanese people from Tokyo. I'm an Ogallala Lakota from the Pine Ridge Reservation. Nobody knew me. Anywhere in the infield was a great place to quit. But I also looked into the stadium. I wanted to quit where nobody recognized me there. But who do I focus on? Not knowing what curve I was on, I focused on Patricia. She's crying. Not because I'm ready to quit, and I don't want you men to think I'm scared of her. She's crying because we had a dream. She was my support system. She had her dream. I was her support system. Collectively, we had our dream. I was taking the Native American virtues and the values. I was extracting them from the culture, the tradition, the spirituality. And I was placing those virtues and values into my Olympic pursuit, into my marriage, trying to be a better man, better human being. Why? Simply because it's the virtues and the values of any society throughout the world, positive virtues and values, that gives its citizens direction, confidence, a clarity of mind to make positive decisions and stay the course. She was also crying because of the first world record in my family. I say with love and compassion, my adopted sister, who had 24 children, 8 sets of twins, and I met some of my grandchildren from that relationship. My dad's brother died at 25 years of age from cancer. My dad adopted my first cousin, became my sister. She was crying for another reason that I'll explain in another moment. But there's no way I could quit. I continued lap after lap after lap until the video picked up the race. 1 lap to go. I moved into first place on Ron Clark's shoulder. He accidentally pushed me into the 3rd lane. Ron said it was an accident. I stumbled into the 3rd lane. I closed on his shoulder. Gamuri from Tunisia broke between us, and I quit. I wasn't going to quit the race. I was going to quit in the most cowardly way of all. And I want every man here to listen. I took off after Clark. I caught him. I was going to hit him. The most cowardly way of quitting. Unless you're in a contact sport. And the 10,000 meter run or the 5,000 is not usually a contact sport. I'll say it this way. More women in America every year are injured by, quote, men beating them than all the women killed in car accidents, mugged, murdered, and the list goes on. It's time to change. And more Native American women on a per capita basis are beaten by men. And it's not fair to say this, so I apologize first, but my heart screams to say it. More of our Native American women are beaten by non-Native American men. We have over 3,000 that have disappeared, sold into sex slavery, or murdered. There's no way I was going to hit. There was no way I was going to abuse. I was going to win with dignity, with character. I was going to honor myself, to honor my family. I was going to honor myself, to honor my tribal nation. I was going to honor myself, to honor my country, the United States of America. There's no way I could hit. One more try, then I'm going low blood sugar. There's a tingling sensation creeping down my forearm, followed by numbness, blurred vision. I've got to get to the finish. Just one more try. I decided to let them get maybe 10 yards ahead of me. I'd make one final try coming off the final curve. I decided earlier I could be with anybody in the world with 100 meters to go. And Patricia's 95 meters from the finish. That'll be my final attempt to win the race, to heal a broken soul. And in the process, I may become an Olympic gold medalist. Boom, we're there. I'm lifting my knees, pumping my arms, lengthening my stride. My body's not responding. Clark is 9 yards ahead of me. Gamudi behind Clark, 8 meters ahead of me. But my body's not responding. A tingling sensation creeping down my forearm, followed by numbness. I'm in the lane 4. A runner from lane 1 goes to 2, 3, 4 in front of me and moves out to lane 5 as Clark and Gamudi go by him. I go by that runner. I glance out of the corner of my eye. He turns his body slightly toward me. In the middle of his singlet, I saw an eagle. I saw an eagle on his jersey. I'm this little boy with his dad. Son, if you do these things, someday you can have wings of an eagle. Wings of an eagle. I can win. I can win. Then I may never be this close again. I've got to do it now. I may never be this close again. Whether it's to claiming sobriety or winning a gold medal. I may never be this close again. I've got to do it now. And then I'm going to win. So powerful, but so gentle. But I may not get to the finish line first. Did I contradict myself? And then wings of an eagle. I can win, I can win. Then I felt the tape break across my chest. I came to a stop. The Japanese official came up to me and his words were, who are you? Who are you? And I respond with, oh my God, did I miscount the laps? Do I have one more lap to go? He said, finished, new Olympic champion. I said, I have to find the German runner. I have to tell him the eagle on his singlet helped me win the gold medal. I go to find the German. There's no eagle. It was simply a perception. Perceptions can create us. Perceptions can destroy us. Perceptions gives us choices. I chose to try to empower myself through the virtues and the values of the Lakota culture. And as I've traveled worldwide, I've sat down with people and took virtues and values from their society with my Lakota, virtues and values from America, the Marine Corps, the Olympics, and we found common ground to bond, to gently, more positively understand and accept each other's differences. I'm on the victory stand. They're playing our national anthem. It's powerful. It's beautiful. And I do understand the third stanza, which excludes people in bondage. The time it was written, the indigenous people of America were basically in bondage. The slave was in bondage. Wouldn't it be so simple to tweak that third stanza? But it was beautiful. I felt I was honored by it, but I also felt excluded. But I want to tell you what was sacred. When I learned about the Santa 5K run, that's sacred. It fits into a vision and mission statement in my life. On the victory stand, I didn't hear words again, but I felt energy, like my dad's voice. You can step out of the circle, son. Take the foremost powerful virtues of our Lakota way, bravery, fortitude, and go on a journey to the center of your soul. That's where you find the virtue of wisdom. Take the virtue of wisdom and go to the virtue of the giveaway and give back. That's the Santa run. I decided with my wife Pat and I, we'd take the virtue of the giveaway and spend the rest of our lives giving back. It's the most precious, the most powerful thing, the most powerful decision we ever made. And I want to start to close with what we wanted to give back. I wanted, as an officer in the Marine Corps, I wanted, as a warrior, the Lakotas made me a warrior after the Olympic Games. I wanted to give back to America. I wanted to give a better understanding of unity through diversity, global unity through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity. To me, the theme of sport, the theme of running, far more powerfully, the future of humankind. I came back to America, and I experienced a world I never experienced before. Billy, we want to offer you an opportunity to join our most powerful business club. It can enhance your income, empower your business. Besides, it's not a full exception. We understand you have qualified already because you're half white. I started experiencing generational trauma, generational privilege. I had to understand it. So I went on my own journey. And this is what I want to share with you. And what I'm going to share with you, other countries my wife and I have visited are studying it. We cannot let the winds of change, the passage of time, wash those footprints I want to share with you away, because those footprints are in our total way of life. Those footprints are in our social way of life, our educational way of life, our entrepreneurial way of life, our political way of life, etched into our rule of law. So I hope you listen with an open mind, and I hope you take it as a means of empowering yourself and empowering other people. I went back to 1493. I always heard about the Christian doctrine when I was growing up on the reservation and how painful it was. In my little innocent mind, how could Jesus be painful? The Christian doctrine. This is what other people are studying. May 4th, 1493, that May 4th may be incorrect. Courtesy of the Vatican, the Pope wrote the Doctrine of Discovery. which basically says, in reference to the New World, any lands found in the New World, the Americas, can only belong to the first Christian monarch that discovers those lands. And the inhabitants, the indigenous people, upon landing upon the shores of the New World, they must come under international rule of law. Their language, their songs, their dance, their religion, the sacredness of the drum will no longer apply, and they must submit to Christianity. But then it was realized if the indigenous people, 60 to 100 million based on archaeological digs today, if they submitted to Christianity, they could own land. So that's the period of our time where they said we had no souls. We were not human. They could rape our women. It was sport. They could kill an indigenous man. It was game. Generation after generation after generation. We had no souls. Pope Francis made Father Sierra a saint 5 years ago when he was in the United States, because Father Sierra fought for the indigenous people to have souls. But you study his history, he enslaved tribal people in California. He brought children into the world with Indian women, non-consensual. The Vatican was given perks to the new Catholic churches throughout the Americas. He wanted some of the perks. So today, I have a soul. The land had to be developed. Slavery. No words can describe the inhumane treatment of the innocent. When the slaves were freed, our leadership goes to the poor white and simply said, snowstorm in August, read the book. Our leadership simply said, don't let them take your jobs. They may be free now, no longer slaves. They learned great skills as slaves. Don't let them take your jobs. Putting fear into the poor white. I'm half white, I'm half Lakota. Maybe they were some of my poor white relatives. I've never met a white relative, though. Don't let them take your jobs. They developed great skills. Putting fear. Other countries studying us today say that fear turned into hate. The hate turned into racism. Jim Crow's born. 1 year before the Olympic Games, 1963, the Civil Rights Act. We can see recently, we'll see in the future, the brutality put upon the free citizen of the United States, the African American. I went to Dr. Martin Luther King's church. I wanted to be where those 4 young women stood as they were celebrating their freedom, thanking God, thanking Jesus Christ for their freedom, when the bomb was thrown, killing them. Why? Then the war on drugs, the new Jim Crow, designed to make hippies and young black men felons, soon spread to young men of color, and it's been successful. That's not who we are. So the footprints of the doctrine of discovery, manifest destiny, treaty signed, treaties broken, manifest destiny, this land is a gift to the European immigrants from God. It's a gift to half of me. Slavery, Jim Crow, the new Jim Crow, the war on drugs are forever etched into our social way of life, our political system, our entrepreneurial system, our educational system, our rule of law, unless we make the decision to have the sacredness of our Constitution be inclusive to all of our citizens, to all of our immigrants, our future immigrants. We cannot let the sacredness of our Constitution die. That's been my purpose in giving back for one moment in time. So what I'd like to do now and make a comment, then dedicate a 90-second video to you. What I just described created generational trauma, but it also created generational privilege. Generational trauma created the poverty within the world, within America, within the United States. Poverty, there's a poverty worse than economic poverty. A poverty of dreams. A poverty of dreams was created. Drugs, violence. Now there's another group of people in this beautiful country of ours that's joining others in generational trauma. And that's the multitudes of rapidly increasing European ancestry, white families that are being thrust into poverty. We have to address all of our citizens. We've got to come together. Running has brought me and my wife together with people throughout the world. So what I want to do at this point is just say I wanted to constantly have a dream out in front of me as I healed a broken soul. I wanted constantly to revive the dream, to change the dreams for a positive direction as we go through our course. In 6 months, I turned 82 years old. I put back becoming an elder until I'm in my 90s because I still have other dreams I want to pursue. But for your dreams, I want to dedicate a 90-second video about dreams. It features 4 Olympians and the challenges they had to overcome to achieve their dream. I dedicate this to you. I dedicate it to the sponsors. I've always felt the businesses that have a vision and a mission statement that's value-based, and everybody commits to live those values legally, ethically, and morally. And all while they protect their bottom line, they develop a very strong social consciousness of communities in need, societies in need, and they reach out to empower them. That just described the sponsors of the Santa Run. That's why I said the Santa Run is sacred. I want to dedicate this 90-second video to you. When the video is over with, I'll close in 2 minutes. The video features 4 Olympians and the challenges they had to overcome to achieve their dream, which are no different than the challenges you had to overcome, because the most difficult thing I ever did was to go 21 years without a drop of alcohol. If we can have the lights, or we have the video ready, the Amazing Grace video.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
As the lights come on, Jesse Owens simply said, everybody should have a dream. Dr. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. My father would tell me as a little boy, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years of age, until he left for his sacred spiritual journey, follow your dreams, son. Every dream has a passion. Every passion has its destiny. He taught me to avoid a poverty of dreams. He taught me to understand and try to accept all people. He taught me the most powerful Lakota prayer. We're all related. So I close with this story. Jesse Owens, Lutz Long, competing against one another, 1936 Olympic Games. Lutz Long was leading Jesse Owens in the qualifying round. Hitler had previously proclaimed the Aryan race superior, the African race inferior, the African American inferior. Lutz Long could have just kept quiet. He would have won the gold medal. Somebody had knocked Jesse Owens' mark down. Accidentally? On purpose? We don't know. It was causing Jesse to foul. Lutz knew that. He goes to Jesse and said, Jesse, your mark was knocked down. Forget about your mark. Jump behind the board, jump as far as you can go, you'll qualify, and the best man, you or I, wins the gold in the finals. Jesse trusted Lutz Long. He jumped behind the board, the quiet crowd. He plants behind the board. He soars. It's quiet. He lands. It's quiet. They measure. He qualified for the finals by fractions of an inch. In the finals, Lutz Long is winning. Jesse had one jump left. Hitler is ready to congratulate Lutz, the German, winning the gold medal. The stadium is quiet. Hitler is waiting. Jesse takes his approach. He plants, he soars, he lands. Again, the stadium is quiet. They measure. Fractions of an inch. He surpasses Lutz Long. Jesse wins the gold. Lutz is the first to congratulate him because Lutz Long congratulated Jesse. A year later, he's sent to the front lines in World War II. He's killed. The rumor was friendly fire. Nobody will know. Lutz Long had a son. Jesse Owens located Lutz Long's son. They became friends until Jesse died. Global unity through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity. That's one of the attributes of running, and that's what you're experiencing here. 2012, January, I just arrived home and I'm exhausted. The phone rang. Patricia answers, oh yes, absolutely. He'll be thrilled to do that. He'll do it tonight. It'll be taken care of in the morning. What is she getting me into? She hangs up and said, the World Olympic, now I'm going to have a hard time getting through this. The World Olympic Museum has Lutz Long's memorabilia, Jesse Owens' memorabilia, Muhammad Ali's memorabilia. They want Billy Mills' Olympic uniform, Billy Mills' memorabilia, to go on a world tour of hope. I cried. I don't belong in that category. But my wife packed up my Olympic uniform and mailed it the next day. I ran for strength from the four directions, from Mother Earth, from the Creator. Running challenged my integrity. Running challenged me spiritually. Running saved my life. Thank you.
Wow, Billy, we are all truly better people for having heard you speak. Thank you so much. We do have time just for a few questions. Anna and I can run the microphones. If you have any questions for Billy or for Judge Reich. Is there any questions? Now we can see.
I have to have you relay it to me.
You're all exhausted and ready to rest out for tomorrow's very vigorous, very intense run. Oh, you have a question? Just okay. Oh, here's my Santa run. This is all that's gonna happen. I'm done. Whew.
Did you continue running after you won the Olympics? Did you continue running after you won the Olympics?
You know, I love that question. I wanted to get a world record. So my running career as an elite athlete was a total of 11 months spread over 2 years. I got the world record. Well, I got the world record. I got the Olympic gold medal. I wanted to heal a broken soul. Sport is a catalyst. I wanted to have a world record. I wanted to win a gold medal. I wanted to be ranked #1 in the world, even if it was for 1 year. 1964, I won the gold. I was ranked #1 in the world. 9 months later, I set a world record. And during that time, I broke 7 American records. I think 4 of them were the second fastest time. It might have been 3 of them were the second fastest time in the world. And I was ranked #3 that year. I wanted to blow out, those of you that might run and really understand times, I wanted to blow out against the Soviet Union in August of 1965, a sub 27:40 10K. I trained through my world 6-mile record. I didn't rest up. 5 days before, I went on a 30-mile run. I trained through the race, wanting to blow out this incredible 10K when I got against the Soviet Union. I got sick and couldn't compete. Went 2 weeks without training. My last competitive race was like the 12th of September, the 12th of August, 1965. I won the race, set an American record, walked off the track, walked up to my wife, Patricia, and I simply said, I'll never be world class again. And I left the sport. So, quit running August 12th, 1965, and never was world class again. Tried to make the Olympic team in 1968, running less than 40 miles a week. I had the fastest 10,000 meter time by an American that year. I had the fastest 5,000 by an American at altitude. I got caught between a feud between the white officials and the black athletes. Not the black athletes, the white officials and some of the black athletes. I was told that if I was given a chance in the 5,000, the place would be torn apart. I talked to some of my friends. They said, we're not against you, Billy. But they were being accused of being against me. It was devastating. It was heartbreaking. For running saved my life, and now I was being excluded. The Olympic trials for the 5,000 in 1968 had Heat 1, Heat 2. The officials said, we'll have Heat 3, Billy, but you have to run by yourself. The top 7 in each heat got into the finals. Ron Clark was in the trials in the US from Australia, the world record holder at the time. He said, you can't do it by yourself. Let me help you. How fast do you want to run? I simply said, I want to run 20 seconds faster than the fastest qualifying time for the finals in my heat. He said, follow me. He ran 20 seconds faster than the fastest qualifying time. I was 19.6 tenths of a second faster than the fastest qualifying time, 43 seconds faster than I think the third fastest qualifying time. But I couldn't go into the finals. They told me I filled a form out improperly back in June, and I left the sport. I was heartbroken, and I realized running saved me. Don't let political issues destroy you, the perceptions we carry on life. So I went back to running, just jogging, an overweight jogger, many times finishing last in my race, but it still helped me continue to heal a broken soul. So thanks for the question. I don't know if there's any other questions or not. But
there's one down here, just to get my exercise. Appreciate it.
Stand up.
Yeah, please.
Being half and half and coming from Pine Ridge Reservation and starting college at Kansas, and then going through that, like being Native American, how was that, like how has that changed you? Were you picked on a lot more, or were you like the minority?
Could you repeat?
Okay.
If you repeat again.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, being from the Pine Ridge Reservation and going to college and being like probably the only Native American, because it was back in like the 1960s, and being around a lot of white people, I don't want to say it like that, but I just wondered how you dealt with it and how going through like the Olympics and how he was treated and how he overcame that.
What you said, let's say it fairly loud. So
She's wondering, you, growing
the
up.
mic, I get the echo from the, no, I get the
Okay.
echo from the mic.
Growing up in Pine Ridge and being half Native and half white, how was it for you to go to the Kansas University and then go into the Olympics? How were you treated and how did you deal with it?
Okay, yeah, a little bit of that I dealt with in my presentation by, on 3 occasions, coming close to suicide. But I truly took the virtues and the values of the Lakota culture, extracted those virtues and values from our culture, our traditions, our spirituality. And those virtues and values became my vision and my mission statement to train for the games. They became my vision and mission statement to be a better husband, to apply to my marriage, being a better father. So what saved me was living the virtues and the values of our culture, our traditions, our spirituality. And why? Because it gives us direction, gives us confidence, a clarity of mind to make positive decisions and stay the course. I sit down with friends of mine from throughout the world. They share their virtues and values with me from their society. We find common ground to bond. Then we start discussing our differences. And can we live with our differences without fighting, without killing one another? And it's always been yes. And Billy, can you believe in Jesus Christ and your traditional Native American values without trying to convert us? And I simply said, yes. I'll leave it up to the powers of the spiritual powers of the heavens to determine. I won't judge. And we find peace in the world. Yeah. Any other question?
All right, I think that's it. It's 8 o'clock, and we need to get rested up for tomorrow. Again, thank you for coming. If you would like to make an additional donation to the RAD running program, they are gift boxes in the back. Billy will be joining us tomorrow, so if you want to talk to him in person or have more conversation, I would invite you to do that. Again, thank you for coming. And I think, Judge, do you have anything else that you want to say, or Ann? I think the Kyson runners and the RAD runners are going to join for a photo up here afterward. But thank you, everyone, for coming.